US President Donald Trump has given Hamas until Sunday night to either accept or reject his plan for Gaza's future, warning that if the militant group fails to accept it, they will face all hell. His comments come as the last boat of an international aid flotilla was intercepted by Israel this morning, with over 450 people, including at least 16 Irish citizens, detained by Israeli authorities.
Gaza City's youngest and most vulnerable, on the move today as aid agencies began evacuating seriously ill newborns.
We've come to Al Hilo Hospital today on a mission to pick up some critically ill children, babies basically, and we're going to transport them over to Nasser Medical Center for further specialised care.
Their route out strewn with the debris of this 2-year-old war, and no clear path forward, as the UN dismissed so-called safe zones as places of death. Though the US president insisted there were secure areas, as he told civilians to leave and warned Hamas to accept his peace deal or face all hell. As Donald Trump issued his ultimatum, the first members of the global summit flotilla arrived back in Italy, with the last of the 42 vessels stopped earlier by Israeli forces and the first deportations underway from this morning.
It's interesting in talking to all of my colleagues who have citizens on this flotilla and who have been detained by Israel. The message from all of us is the same. Our first priority is to get our citizens home, but then of course we reserve the right to seek accountability from Israel for what I believe is a breach of international law.
With condemnation of a video issued by Israel's security minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, in which he appears to mock some of the 450 people detained, calling them supporters of killers. Behaviour described as despicable and disgusting by those involved in the flotilla. Fiona Mitchell, RTE News.
We're joined now by our reporter Aisling Kenny from the city of Ashdod in Israel, where that flotilla was brought after it was intercepted, and by our Washington correspondent Sean Whelan. So Aisling, what's the latest now on the detainees, and what are you hearing about where they're being held?
Well, Eileen, as you said, we're here in Ashdod. You can see the port behind me here. This is on the Israeli coast. Now, this is where the 500 detainees that were on that flotilla, including the at least 16 Irish people, were taken to when they were intercepted by Israeli authorities. Now, they were here for a number of hours last night. They were then taken to Katziat prison. That's about an hour and 40 minutes from where we are here in Ashdod. It's based between Gaza and Egypt. Now, I understand that around half of the 500 detainees have agreed to a voluntary deportation order. That's where they say they have entered Israel illegally. Now, the other half have said that they will not agree to sign those forms. That means that they will go before a court. They will go before a judge here in Israel who will issue a deportation procedure, and they will likely be deported at some time next week. Now, I understand that lawyers have been in touch with detainees here. They are trying to provide as much legal representation as they can. Now, as we speak, there is a new flotilla on the way to Gaza. I understand it's around 12 ships and boats. I also understand there are around 7 Irish people on board those ships. I've spoken to the organisers of the flotilla this evening, and they say they will not be deterred, that they will do everything they can to ensure that a humanitarian corridor is opened to allow aid to get safely into the enclave.
And Aisling, what are the Irish authorities saying? Have they been in contact with the Irish citizens involved?
Yes, that's right, Eileen. Well, the Taoiseach Simon Harris had a consular meeting this morning. After that meeting, he said that the Irish government's priority was the safety and the well-being of the Irish detainees here in Israel. Now, he also said that the Irish ambassador to Israel, Sonia McGuinness, had spent the day at the Katziat prison here in Israel, making sure that the Irish detainees get the legal representation that they need, and also the healthcare treatment that they need. Now, the Taoiseach also said there was an Irish delegation based in Dublin that were providing ongoing updates to the families of detainees here in Israel.
Sean, in Washington, President Trump has been on social media basically giving an ultimatum to Hamas. What has he been saying?
Yeah, that's right. He's set a deadline of Sunday at 6 p.m. Washington, D.C. time. That's 11 o'clock at night on Sunday night, Irish time, for Hamas to accept this 20-point peace plan, which he unveiled on Monday. It's been in the negotiations for weeks. Hamas have been briefed on it during this week, the past several days, by officials from Turkey and a couple of other states, and are reported to be considering the plan. But the president, on Monday, when he unveiled it, he said, I'm going to give Hamas 3 or 4 days to make their minds up on it. He's now extended that deadline, but set a very hard deadline of Sunday evening, 6 o'clock Washington time. And if they don't accept it, he said, all hell will be unleashed on Hamas like the world has never seen before. So a very clear threat that there is going to be severe and intense military action taking place in the Gaza Strip. He's saying they are just waiting for me to give the word go. They, I presume, being Israel, which has troops on the ground there surrounding Gaza City, preparing for a final push on Hamas. But the president, very tough, very uncompromising in his language, saying 25,000 have been killed already. The rest are going to be killed if they refuse to take this. And the ones who are abroad, we know where they are. We'll track them down and kill them too.
Sean in Washington and Aisling in Ashdod in Israel. Thank you both.